Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I'd like to talk about this maybe a little more simplistically and a little more maybe globally kind of look. Just got the report this morning that existing home sales are down again for the third straight month. Unemployment, as you mentioned in your opening statement, remains too high. When we have witness after witness, particularly from the financial institutions, asking why they're not lending or why people aren't borrowing, lack of confidence, uncertainty. My question is, in this, is the lack of a certain plan forward with Fannie and Freddie leading to the uncertainty as well? I'll just give you, for instance, speaking with a community banker several weeks ago, asking him, why are you not getting into the mortgage market, because the FHA is taking up so much more of the mortgage area. And he said, well, you know, maybe if you'd give me a loan guarantee, maybe I'd get into that a little bit more. Are we, because of this, all of the government involvement with Fannie and Freddie and dollars and just what you said, that we will back up the debt of Fannie and Freddie, could that be part of, I know we need to do it slowly, but could it be part of the, maybe putting it in some mud, making it going slower so that the confidence is not rebounding the way that we need it to in order to get out of this slug that we're in?
I don't think so, but I'll give you my sense of this. I think if you talk to, as you do, and as we all do, community bankers across the country, and you ask them what's happening on the lending side, generally what they say is the following. They say loan demand is still very low. They say the supervisors are being very tough on us, and to some extent they say they'd like to know what the rules of the game are going to be in terms of broader financial reform. So, for example, the bill that passed the House last December and the bill now moving its way through the Senate, they'd like to know a little more certainty about what the rules of the game are going to be on capital, things like that going forward. I think those are the principal factors still affecting the lending conditions for small community banks. And I think we can do something about those things. Again, we can, as the chairman of the Fed and the chairman of the FDIC are doing, try to make sure that their examiners across the country are not overdoing it. We can make sure, as I said to your colleague, that we provide capital to small community banks so they can have a little bit of assistance to get through this. That'll help support lending. And if we pass financial reform, that'll bring some clarity to the rules of the game. That would be helpful. But I do not believe that what Fannie and Freddie and FHA are doing now, I think it's overwhelmingly constructive to the process of repair of housing finance.
But at the base of a recovery, good solid recovery, is going to be this bouncing back of the housing market at the most fundamental part. Would you agree with that?
It will. You know, it's hard to tell the timing now, but part of recovery will be more durable stability in housing prices.
Right.
And as that happens, you're going to see the private market come back and take back some of the business of housing finance that is now dominated by Fannie and Freddie and the FHAs.
Okay, on a totally different topic, and we've talked about this a little bit, and the administration's making home affordable modification and refinancing. Is that where we've done the $1 million modification? Is this affecting the bottom line of Fannie and Freddie at all, and are you concerned about the redefault rates on some of these remodifications in terms of the ones that are held by
Right.
Fannie and Freddie?
No, it's not hurting the bottom line of Fannie and Freddie at all. The way this program works for both a private lender and for Fannie and Freddie is that they do the modifications if the economic value of the mortgage is better after being modified than it would be in foreclosure. So because of that, that's what these modifications do. They put Fannie and Freddie in a better position, not a worse position, than if no modifications were happening.
But we're still having redefault rates in those.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you know, given, as you said, given how high unemployment is across the country still, you're going to still see redefault rates happen. It's just it's inevitable. We want to make sure we're doing as much as we can to help people who lose their jobs and face the risk of losing their home. But you're going to see some risk of redefault rates across Fannie and Freddie and the banks who hold mortgages.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you very much.